For the first 2 years and 2 months of my son's life, I had never spent a night away from him. Now, it wasn't because I was afraid to do so, but simply because my husband and I just didn't have the help we needed to do an overnight time away from him. Now, since that time, he's now 3, and we've actually had 2 nights. We've done it twice away from him, and boy, are we so thankful for those 24 hours. One common energy drainer that I see being discussed a lot and felt among moms today is the lack of reliable childcare and help. Where the common phrase, raising kids takes a village, used to be the norm, it's now become a luxury in our modern society. With so many 21st century parents, including myself, raising their family away from their own family and their own norms, and with the cost of living continuing to rise, it's becoming quite a challenge to find help when it comes to childcare. Where it may be difficult, it's not impossible. Today, Mama, I'm going to share with you 6 practical solutions for childcare that'll help you and your family feel more balanced, centered, and energized. Now, I warn you, some of them may cause you to step outside your comfort zone a bit, but hey, that is what I am here for after all, right? I'm here to help you stretch, grow, and know that you're not alone. So here we go. Get ready, Mama, because we're about to dive in. Let's find you a solution. Hey, Mama, welcome to the Energized Mama podcast. Do you want a better work-life balance and more time and energy? Do you find yourself thinking, how can I add more hours into the day? Or are you Googling how to deal with mom guilt and can my marriage survive toddlers? Do you wake up with big goals only to feel overwhelmed and defeated when you have no one to help you and your littles aren't listening to you again? Hey, I'm Cheyanne. I too was an exhausted mom away from the help of my family. I too felt constantly drained with a strong-willed toddler and wished I could find balance between being a wife, a mom, stepmom, and entrepreneur. I wanted more energy to give myself and my husband, to discipline my kids confidently, and incorporate faith into our home. All the things, right? But I kept telling myself that I couldn't do it feeling this exhausted and without a community supporting around me. Until I found a healthy balance and endless energy in raising Jesus-loving littles. In this podcast, you will find that too. You will find time and energy boosting tips and tricks, guidance for disciplining your littles, and what to do when you have no help so that you will find balance between all your roles. Stop feeling drained and learn to trust your own mom tuition. Time to grab those headphones, pour that green smoothie, and get ready to get your daily energy boost. I've got you, Mama. I wanted to take a quick moment to read a review that recently came in on this very podcast. This comes in from Chi, and she says she's that no judgmental mom coach you've always wanted. Cheyenne's energy, relatability, and practical tips make her the perfect mom coach for moms with littles and no community to support them. Her stories are very relatable and vulnerable, yet super inspiring. Her podcast episodes give you the right dose of encouragement, inspiration, and the energy you need to keep going as a mom. Here's a digital hug for you, Cheyanne. Well, Chi, here's a digital hug right back to you. Thank you so much, girlfriend. I really, really appreciate your support of the show, and I'm just so honored to be here for you and every single mom listening. Okay, I am all about the practical and tactical. Here on the Energized Mama podcast, you will always find steps, hacks, tips, because I love to actually know that you can take this information from what I share with you in just these few minutes together and actually go implement and apply them right away. So that's what we're going to do today as I talk you through 6 practical solutions for finding the help that you need with childcare. First and foremost, this may be one of the most obvious ones, but I hope I'm going to bring some different perspectives to it, is to help or to ask for help from family and friends. Now, we know this. We know that family and friends are there, that again, it takes a village, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to be blood family or friends you grew up with since you were a kid. What I would suggest is consider asking someone from your trusted community or your tribe to help you. Now, this can look something as simple as just a few hours during the day, or even say having them pick up or drop off your child from school or activities. It's amazing how helpful just that that little chunk of time can be and how willing people are to actually do so. But we actually have to very often ask them. And this goes for even if you don't live around your town you grew up in or any family member. This can be someone from church, maybe another mom at your kid's preschool, something like that. But asking them, as long as you trust them and there's someone you have a good bond and relationship with and knows your child, asking them to help with even the simplest things, the everyday things, can really relieve you of so much stress and help you feel more energized. Solution number 2 is a daycare center. Now, they're a popular option for many parents because they offer a safe and structured environment for children to play and learn, right? It's a great opportunity for parents to socialize their children, to put them around other children their own age so that they can learn all of this social interaction and dynamics. Now, I know that daycare centers can be very, very expensive nowadays, so it's always an option to also look for a provider of someone who runs a daycare outside of their home. Very often they're a little bit more affordable and they would offer a smaller group of kids so that your kids can go get more one-on-one attention. When you are looking for a daycare center in your town, I would suggest for you to look for a few things. One would be good reviews. Almost everyone nowadays goes online for reviews, so you can go ahead and look at Yelp or even look at Facebook groups, see what daycare centers are being talked about and what people, other parents especially, are saying. You can look up affordable prices. A lot of daycare centers will work with some health insurances or work on a payment plan to help set your family up for success as best as they can. And of course, ultimately, you want to make sure that the staff there is experienced and qualified. So when you do go visit in person, or if you send them an email, make sure that you can see if they have any certifications, what background can they offer you. Some even have some credentials or things that they've actually studied that they can offer you to show you that they know what they're doing and that your child will be in safe hands. Number 3 solution I am especially fond of because I was one of these. It's to grab yourself a nanny or a babysitter. I spent 10 years, basically my entire 20s, nannying and caring for children while I lived between Florida and Los Angeles. And I have to tell you, it was one of the most rewarding experiences of my life for myself, but also for these kids. Now, all these years later, I actually have several of the kids that are the same age as my bonus daughter, so around 14, 15 years old. And it is so amazing to see how we kind of grew up together and how we have this beautiful, beautiful the relationship and experience we got to share together. And now looking back as a mom, I am so thankful that I was able to be there for these moms because it really allowed them to feel less stressed and drained in their everyday life, knowing that they had someone there that could provide that flexibility and personalized childcare through this one-on-one contact with their kids in their home. Just make sure when you're looking for a nanny or babysitter that you look for someone that has good references, experience working with children, and ideally who is trained in some kind of CPR and first aid. And for a 4th tip when it comes to finding practical solutions for your childcare is something that became really common, especially during COVID and post-COVID world, which is working from home. Now, if your job allows it, consider working from home to reduce the need for full-time childcare. You can also, of course, work during your child's nap time or while they're occupied with different activities. This is something I actually do for myself, but it's a little bit more flexible since I'm an entrepreneur and I create my own work schedule. There are many companies out there that now are allowing workers to work from home, switching it back and forth with coming into the office every now and then, and setting it up as a more flexible lifestyle, especially if you have children. I'd encourage you to check in to see where your current job is in that space, seeing if they accept that kind of work or if it's something that they'd be willing to add on to your current work schedule. Now, if you're in the space of being able to be a little more flexible and either look for new work or start an adventure on your own, that could be a really great way for you to have a little bit of balance and be able to work while also have that time, that freedom, and that financial freedom to be able to make sure that your kids are being provided for and taken care of. Hey, Mama, do you wish there was a way to stop feeling emotionally drained by your life as a mom of littles? Do you wish you could have more energy for your husband without constantly feeling just totally physically exhausted? I know what it feels like to want more from your life than just being a mom. I know what it feels like to be overwhelmed with, well, where to begin to stop the stress in my everyday life. and to have no idea what healthy habits to implement into my own home that'll actually make a difference. I also know what it feels like to be totally lost and how to create a realistic and sustainable plan that works for me in my home. And I know what it feels like to just think that you just can't be energetic while you parent a household full of littles that demand so much of you. At least one that doesn't rely on either coffee for energy or wine to distress. Am I right? Well, now I want you to imagine if you no longer felt completely exhausted at the end of your day. Imagine if you had the time to go on dates with your husband and you had the energy to give yourself some much needed me time. And if you had easy to implement systems and strategies that would allow you to be that energetic and vibrant mama you want to be, all at the same time while still raising your kids the exact way you want. Well, I have great news for you. That's why I created the More Energy Method, a customized blueprint to clear your chaos and bring back more energy into your everyday life. It's where I teach you to decrease stress while increasing your energy. You will be able to stick with this super simple plan, tailor-made for you, by the way, that will establish new healthy habits that'll unlock energy without taking away focus from your kids or require huge commitments of time. You will walk away with crystal clear clarity of exactly what to focus on. You'll walk away with a plan that'll help you exactly know how to do it, and with the confidence as a woman, wife, and mother to make the changes you need to and keep them for good. So mama, if you're ready to stop feeling overwhelmed and exhausted the moment you wake up and instead feel rejuvenated throughout the day and go to bed satisfied, even as a busy mom of littles, then there's no time like the present to take this step for yourself when you right now can actually get 20% off during the month of April and May. This offer will expire come June 1st, and I think we can both agree you deserve this freedom right now. Plus, when you buy now, you get my special bonus where I show you exactly how to implement this blueprint with your husband and unlock his own energy too. So go. Head to energyformoms.com. I even have the link below to make it very simple for you. It's time to lose the stress while gaining yourself back and have endless amounts of energy for yourself, your husband, and a life beyond just your littles. Number 5 practical solution is actually one of my personal favorites, although it was something that was a relatively new concept to me when I became a mom, even after all my years and experience as a nanny. This is shared childcare. Now, what exactly does that mean, right? It sounds kind of, simple, but it can be done in so many different ways. One way I would encourage you into thinking is to consider setting up a childcare co-op with other parents in your community. You can basically take turns watching each other's children, providing 1, affordable, and 2, flexible childcare options. So this may look as something as simple as just grabbing at the woman that you connect with at church or a woman that you run into at your child's preschool and say, hey, can we have a designated set of hours or days, or especially maybe during holiday breaks, that we can agree, I watch your kids, you watch my kids. And very often, many moms are so willing to go there without charging each other anything. And it is usually an honest answer to prayer for most of them. So this is the one that may cause you to step out of your comfort zone a little bit. But again, I promise that this could be exactly what this other mom is looking for. And it could be something that you set up on a more regular basis or maybe a little more spontaneous. The choice is totally yours. Now, the last practical step I'm going to share with you today is great, especially if you have children that are a little bit older, that are more preschool age or kindergarten age, or perhaps if you have older children that go to a school already, because practical solution number 6 is looking into before and after school programs. So I've discovered a lot in the country that I currently live in Belgium, and also in the United States, that there are some schools that even offer before and after school programs for children who don't even attend there. There are some programs that offer help for sibling sets and things that would allow a younger child to be watched there, cared over by licensed professionals while their older sibling or even say a cousin goes there and attends there full time with school. So many of them are going to be a great option because they do provide a safe and structured environment for your children to play and to learn, just as the positive as a daycare center. I'd encourage you to look into programs that are offered by either your child's school or, again, maybe you have a niece or a nephew or even a local community center. I know when I was living in the States, a really great resource were the Boys and Girls Club and YMCA, and they offered really great, inexpensive programs that could really help your children grow, but also help mama feel really at ease. When I was a aspiring actress in Los Angeles, I worked at a 24-hour fitness club that actually had a babysitting center. So when you would go in and get your workout in, we offered 2 hours of babysitting where the kids would go in, they'd be guided and cared for by licensed professionals, and they actually got to get some of their own little workouts in themselves, and they got to do it in a safe space while you got to focus on your workouts. So again, another great positive, right, is your energy is not only being drained or is not being drained there, so you're sustaining your energy, but you're also fueling yourself as well in the same process. I like to call this one a win-win. Now, mamas, I'm not sure where you're at in your life. Maybe all of these solutions sounded great, or maybe you're going to try 2 or 3, or let's be honest, there are times where it's just not practical for us to try any of them. But I want you to know and remember that where you're at right now is a season. Just as the saying goes, the one inevitable in life is change. So change is going to happen to your family, and it's all about going with the flowing, right? Knowing that the season that you're in right now may feel challenging and overwhelming, but it won't last forever. And I just want to encourage you that step outside your comfort zone, ask your spouse for help, and I know that you can find a solution that works for your family. And ultimately, it is important to do so because it will provide you with a peace of mind and flexibility that you're looking for so that you can plug that drain of energy, that childcare, that trying to figure out where are my children safe, where are they sound, where can I have this extra care for them, won't be an issue anymore, and that'll bring you so much peace and allow you to have so much more energy for yourself, for your husband, and a life beyond children. But if you are looking for continued emotional support, I am so happy to let you know that I have a free and private Facebook group just for moms like you, moms of littles who want to come connect, get real, strategize, talk about solutions together, and most of all, just have a very safe space with moms who get it and speak that same language. If you'd like to join us, you can go ahead and find the link in the show notes below. And again, I'm just so thankful for you joining me on an episode here at The Energized Mama, where it's my heart to pass along my energy to you and to help you become and be and own that vibrant, energetic mama that you want to be. I'll see you on a future episode.